Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Lisa and I love doing videos on luxury handbags, ready to wear shoes. I love to do some styling videos and I do all that from the perspective of somebody who is in the middle of her life as well as someone who is mid-size. So if that's something that interests you, I would love it if you would just take a second and click the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you know every time I upload a video. So before we get into today's video, I thought I would just do a really quick share of the bag I'm carrying today, and that is my Hermes TPM or Mini Heavilin, depending on who you ask. This is in the gold color in Clemence leather with the gold hardware. So that is what that looks like, and it's a really great grab and go, super easy bag to carry, which I love, especially if, like I said, if I'm just running out to grab my kids from school or running a quick errand, this is a great bag to go with. So today's video is all about the 7 luxury type of items or sort of categories of items that I will not buy. Now, some of these items I have bought before, and that's why I won't buy them again. And some of these are just ones that I know I will never ever buy. Now, I know that's a hard thing to say, right? A lot of us say never in the luxury community, and then we're like, oops, sorry, didn't really mean that. I'm gonna roll that back a little bit, but so, never say never, but I'm looking at this list and some of them I can for sure say I will never buy. So let's get into the 7 items or the 7 types of luxury items that I will never buy. So the first item is one of those where I think I can pretty well firmly say I will never buy, and that is tech accessories. And I think I'm in pretty good company here when it comes to this particular category. In fact, I would love it if you buy luxury tech accessories, comment down below, like what pulls you to do so? I mean, I guess from my perspective, I guess if you have just like all the money in the world to burn, then sure, go out and buy a luxury tech accessory. But as we all know, tech accessories or tech items change every year. I mean, every year, we all know, right? Apple comes out with a new iPhone, Samsung comes out with a new Galaxy phone, and they're always just a tad bit different in size, right? They're never the exact same size as their predecessor. So if you go out and you buy, a Louis Vuitton phone case for your new iPhone 14 that you just got, next year, when you get the iPhone 15, I would pretty much be willing to bet my children's lives that your phone case for your 14 isn't going to fit your 15. So now you've just spent, what, probably $1,000 on a phone case that you are never going to use again. Hence the reason why I will never buy a tech accessory. Another accessory I will not buy is an AirPod case. And I'm talking about the kind of thing that you put your AirPod case, like the white case, into, so it like protects your AirPod case. First of all, I'm not quite sure why your AirPod case needs protection, but that aside, like Chanel came out with those AirPod cases that like you wore like as a necklace. Really? Who's walking around with a necklace with their AirPods dangling from it? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really think that like completes a look. Like, I don't think that I need to wear my AirPods around my neck to complete my outfit. Just saying. So I won't be buying that. I will also not be buying another Chanel item that they came out with, which was basically like a chain. So like take one of their, like a chain from one of the bags. And it was basically, it would go around your neck, and then the actual AirPods, like the AirPods themselves, like stuck into like a little, I don't even know what it was, but like a little holder so that you could put the AirPods in each one So, I guess similar to a sunglass chain, that you put on the end of the arms of sunglasses, and you put them on each end. And so then you can take your sunglasses off and they either hang here, or when you put them on your head, the chain sort of dangles. And, I get it, but do I need those for my AirPods? Again, I don't think so. I don't think that I'm going to complete my ensemble for the day with a chain holding my AirPods to put in my ears. Yeah, no, I'm just not. Another luxury item that I'm not going to buy are bag charms. This is one of those where been there, done that, and I just know that I don't use them. Now I'm talking about anything from rodeos to, dangling metal ones like that Louis Vuitton makes. Again, I don't need to announce my presence with my bag making noise. And I did buy a rodeo when I got my Birkin in Paris. You kind of get caught up in that, what else should I buy? Should I, get some accessories for it? You get caught up in the moment, right? And so I was like, oh, hey, do you have any rodeos? And, of course, I'm in the flagship store. So yes, she had some rodeos, although not a lot. I will be honest. I think she only had one or two. And so I bought it because I was like, well, I just got a Birkin. I should have a rodeo for my Birkin, right? No. That got sold probably 6 months after I initially had it. I'm not even sure that I wore it on my bag once. I'm just not really somebody who likes things on my bags. Neither my Birkin or my Kelly has their clochette and lock on it. It's just not a look that I like. I just tend to like more clean things and not extra fluff. So yeah, bag charms, they're out. The next category are brooches. Now here's another one where I have purchased and regretted. So at one time, I think I had 2 Chanel brooches. I do still have one left, and I will tell you how I wear that. And then I got rid of one, and if I can find a picture, I'm sure I can, I'll pop a picture up here of the one that I sold. It was one that had a lot of crystals. It was heavily embellished. The one that I kept is packed because it's actually on what I put it on. So the one that I kept is a very classic Chanel brooch. It looks like, for example, the CC clasp on the Chanel 19. It's the CC with the black leather woven in it. And that one I've used, I've put it on a hat. So instead of buying a Chanel hat, since I already had the brooch, I will put that on an existing beanie and make it look like it's a Chanel beanie, which, is just fine. It works for me. But, putting it on a jacket, maybe I would put it on an outerwear jacket, but I don't even know that I would do that. Now, that being said, moving to New York and being in a place where I'm going to be walking a lot more and wearing my coat and, taking public transportation, maybe I would put it on my jacket, on my actual coat. So a classic beige, wool coat. I might put it on that, but at least being in Kansas City, it's just, again, I don't wear a coat for that long, right? I'm walking into Walmart and then getting back in my car and going home. So it just didn't really seem appropriate. So I especially never wore the crystal one. I don't even know what possessed me to buy the crystal one. And then I also had a Dior one that again had crystals, and it was very simplistic. So it literally, again, I'll put up a picture, it just says Dior, and it was, fully embellished with crystals, but it was small. It was probably only this, maybe this long, so maybe 2 inches long at the most. And, it was clean lines, and I enjoyed it again, but I just never found the use to wear them. And so I've definitely learned my lesson with brooches. We will not buy any more brooches. Although I do have to say, I did love Amelia Rose's idea of putting her brooches on that new denim bag that she got. So if I ever got like a plain denim Chanel bag, I think that's a fantastic idea. So kudos to you, Amelia, for finding a creative and a useful way to use your brooches. Okay, the next category is yet again, you know, live and learn, lessons learned, and that is silk scarves. Now, I know in some of my gift guide recommendations, I've recommended silk scarves. In fact, I've recommended brooches too. Maybe not. Maybe I haven't. No, never mind. Take that back. I haven't recommended brooches. But I don't think I've recommended bag charms either. So I think the only one that I've recommended so far have been the silk scarves. And if you are a silk scarf wearer, I think they're phenomenal. I mean, they really are, I think, good value for money in the fact that you get, you know, a really great way to accessorize your outfit. And if you are petite enough and can pull off wearing those as a top, you know, like I said in, I think, the Hermes video, there's a ton of YouTube videos out there on how to style scarves as a top. And if I were smaller framed and frankly didn't have the bust size that I have, maybe I would find more uses for those silk scarves. But I really only wore them as like a neck scarf, and you know, it just gives me flight attendant vibes. Let's be honest, I can't rock it. It just doesn't look great on me. Now, I did use my black and like cream one, and I'll put a picture up here of as like a belt. And I used it when I was in Paris when I got my, and I happened to wear it the day I got my Birkin, because, you know, I was trying to like wear my Hermes stuff. So, you know, I liked it, but again, most of the time they sat in their boxes. I had 3 at one point, one that I bought before I went to Paris, one that I bought in Paris, and then one that I bought in New York on the way back from Paris. And honestly, I think first of all, the one that I bought in Paris never got used. It had the tag, the actual tag still on it. The one I bought in New York maybe got worn once. I don't think, maybe at the most. And then the black one I did wear a couple of times. Like I said, I wore it a couple of times on the trip in Europe when we were gone, maybe one other time, but it's not a look that I feel comfortable that I can pull off. And if there was one that like my husband and I agreed on as far as like being an art piece, I do think they're magnificent wall art pieces. So, you know, whether you live alone or whether, you know, if you live with somebody and you need to kind of get their buy-in on it, I do think that they make phenomenal art pieces. And as far as art goes, is an incredible bargain, right? I mean, obviously it's going to cost you some money to get it framed, but they really are beautiful works of art. And so I would recommend it for that. But just for me and for wearing them, it didn't work. I couldn't pull it off. Okay, this next category, I have never whatever. I've never tried, how about that? And I can pretty safely say I never will, and that is designer underwear or luxury underwear. Now, I remember when the Dior bralette was all the rage. I remember when Victoria got it from In the Fro. I think that Tamara had it. I'm trying to think of some other influencers, but you know, again, all have pretty much either very little or no breast, you know, nothing much going on up here. Yeah, again, a great look. That would be another piece that would have gone in my fantasy life video, because again, it's one of those pieces that if I was living that influencer life and if I had, you know, an upper body that could wear that type of bralette, yeah, I mean, I guess I would rock it. But again, I'm not an influencer. I'm not, you know, going out to red carpet events. I'm not like I'm not anywhere. And like I said, I live in Kansas City right now. Where am I going to go wearing a Dior bralette? Nowhere. I'm certainly not going to Walmart wearing a Dior bralette. And it just, even when I was researching the Dior gift guide that's coming up on Friday, there was like men's boxers. Again, if you've got money to burn, then yeah, go for it. I mean, spend $500 on a pair of boxer shorts, but my money isn't like flowing like that, so we're not going to be wasting our money on designer underwear. Okay, the next item, or the next category, I should say, was one that I talked about in my fantasy self video. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link that up above. And that's designer luggage. Now, as you heard, I would love to buy the Louis Vuitton Horizon suitcase. I think it's gorgeous. I would love to own it, but I can't justify it. It will just get destroyed. And again, if I lived that, influencer, private jet riding, flying person, hey, then go for it. Or like I said, if you've got all the money in the world to burn and you don't care that you're spending $3,500 on a suitcase that's gonna get destroyed like the minute you take it on a plane, then go for it. But even other pieces, so for example, I do own one of the Louis Vuitton keep-alls, and I can never remember the name. It's the traditional monogram, but it's got the black trim on it, and I'll find a picture because it's, again, in storage right now. But I bought that piece, and I have to say that I'm kind of disappointed by it. So I bought it again thinking, that I would, it's a great weekender bag, or, it's a great carry-on. Well, I took it to Europe with me, and it doesn't sit on top of a rolling suitcase that, you're also carrying on. So for example, I had, as my carry-ons to Europe, I had my, like a rolling, 20 or 21 inch rolling suitcase, and then that Louis Vuitton keep-all, a 45, size 45, so it's the smaller keep-all. And like every time I tried to put it on top of my suitcase, it would fall off. And then if you try to like hold the handles, like the top handles with your suitcase handle, well, the suitcase handle is taller than the keep-all handles, and you can't really do it that way. And then you try to like wrap the, the bandolier strap around the suitcase. It just didn't work. And then as far as like being a weekender bag, we don't go anywhere for the weekend, you guys. Like we aren't the type of family or couple that does like a lot of like road trips, or like, my husband and I don't like jump in the car and go away for the weekend kind of thing. And I wouldn't take, even if we were like going away for the weekend, like let's say if we were going away for like 2 nights, 3 days to Vegas or something. Again, I'm not gonna bring that bag because it gets heavy. I mean, even with the shoulder strap, it just doesn't really work, in my opinion, for what I would need it to work for. I have to do more work to carry it than it's doing for me, if that makes sense. Okay, last but not least, and I know this one is going to be controversial, but it is the Louis Vuitton Christmas animation collections. Now, please, don't come for me in the comments, okay? just hear me out. I love them. It's sort of like the Horizon. I love it. Or like the Fendi First from my Fantasy Life one. I love it. Hear me when I say it. I love the Christmas animation pieces. They are gorgeous. I love little Vivian. She's so cute, and I love her in her different cities. But here's my issue. We all know if you actually use those pieces, the screen printing that they do for the animation, what's on it, what makes it cool, starts coming off. And I don't want to spend, what's pretty much like double the cost of whatever small leather good it's on, right? So, you get a key pouch, which is normally whatever, $310, and maybe it's not double, maybe it's $450 or something. I don't know what the current prices are, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a collector. Maybe if I was a collector, then I would collect them. But I use my pieces. I don't buy pieces to sit in my closet. And so to buy a Christmas animation piece to then use, and probably within a year of using it, start wearing away at that beautiful scene that's on it, just seems like a huge waste to me. So as much as I love them, and every year they come out, and every year I'm like, oh, I should get a Christmas animation piece, and I'll even, if I'm in boutique, I'll even ask if they have any pieces left. And yeah, I just can't figure out a use case for these pieces that wouldn't end up getting damaged. So again, if you have Christmas animation pieces that you use, okay, don't tell me that, you know, you've used it once and it looks phenomenal, right? I want somebody who is using their, you know, Christmas animation mini pochette accessoire or their zippy coin holder every day for a year. If you've used them every day for a year and you have no wear and tear on like the screen printing animation thing, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to buy one of these pieces. But the practical side of me just won't let me do it. So if you can give me some assurances, you better believe I'm buying that Christmas animation next year, and this will be off the never buy list. So there you have it. 7 categories of luxury items that I will not be buying. Again, some that I have bought that I won't buy again, some that hell no, I will never buy, and some that, you know, I see, like, I see the value, but you know, it's just kind of not for me. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It does really help the algorithm. If you haven't had a moment to click the subscribe button, it just takes one split second to just click that button down below and the notification bell so you know the next time I upload a video. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.